This is my pick. This is slashers. I guess there was 2 of my picks on this one, huh? Odd. Written by Maurice Devereaux. Summary: a black comedy horror film in which 6 random contestants are put into a game show where they'll face evil clowns, evisceration happy doctors, and wild maniacs. The winner has to survive the terror by being resourceful. Do you have any additional details?
Oh,
probably not on this one.
I mean, sure. Tagline.
It's a movie.
Tagline: 6 contestants, 3 slashers, no prisoners. Distributed by Bedford Entertainment. On DVD by Kino Lorber Films in 2008.
I don't want to be the first one to talk about this. Who wants to go
I'll
first?
talk about it
Okay,
first.
let's get you in there.
This movie was behind the 8 ball right from the beginning. When it's shot on video, it's like one camera through the entire movie. It's a Canadian horror that is supposed to feel like a Japanese game show. So, I mean, right from the get-go, it's bad. The concept, I think, is cool.
It's kind of like a Running Man.
It's the Running Man.
Yeah, the
Running Man
the game show. I mean,
Yeah.
if it was
Done
if it was
well?
a real show, or
Yeah.
yes, if it was done well, yeah, it'd be. But the execution of this is freaking terrible. The slashers are the best thing about it. The Preacher Man. And have we seen that mask before? Like, don't it kind of look like what's his name? The vampire movie we did.
Fucking Mr. Longfingers?
Yeah, don't he kind of look like him?
Comes Mr.
Anyway, so they
Longfingers.
they got 3 slashers: the Preacher Man, Chainsaw Charlie, and Dr. Ripper. That's the highlight of the movie.
And Chainsaw Charlie and the Preacher Man are played by the same actor.
Oh well, great, yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
yeah, because it only shows
Yeah.
one at a time. They wanted it to be like a Japanese game show, so if they could have added more into that. They could have had, the fake commercials. They could have cut back to the host and the cheerleaders. Like, the Japanese stuff is so weird and
They leave it at the front. They don't even deal with it.
yeah. So if they would have mixed that in a little bit, it would have felt more like a Japanese show. And they should have had one, or they should have had more than one camera guy. When the contestants break off from each other, they could have flip back and forth between show me what these contestants are doing when they leave for 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Of course, they tried to make the cameraman a character. At the end, they try to incorporate him.
It felt too long. What was the runtime on this?
Oh, I have no idea.
Hour 39 minutes
of pure fun.
It feels like a 2-hour 15-minute movie.
This movie should absolutely not have gone over an hour 20 minutes tops. The budget on this was $165,000,
which is really low.
No, how? Tell me how, because it's shot in a paintball arena.
When was it made though?
2001.
This is the 2000s. $160,000.
That was 17 years ago.
In 2000,
almost $200,000. They shot it in a paintball arena.
In 2000,
is that true?
Yes. There was basically they did nothing for the set. Like for most of the time, it's just people running through plywood.
Yeah, in 2000s, a really low budget horror movie was still $5-7 million.
No.
Yeah.
That's $5 or $7 million is considered low budget now.
It was back then.
No.
Yeah.
Jared, no.
Well, fine. Not $5-7 million. It was still at least $1 or $2 million.
A lower budget movie.
$1 or $2 million. That's still 10
they had
times
almost,
lower.
No, they had almost $200,000. Did you watch this movie?
I've seen it many times.
Okay,
actually.
So I mean, they're wearing masks. They're in a paintball arena that they did basically nothing to.
Yeah.
Like I said, most of the backdrop is plywood. They do up a mock bedroom with a bed. The effects was horrible. Like, what you didn't pay money for no effects artists. Like, where did $200,000
to be honest,
ago.
the when the girl gets cut in half, I liked that.
It's
I liked that a lot.
it's okay.
I mean,
But
I see what you're saying.
even then, the camera's on the chick. They pan over, and when you come back, she's already almost split in
that's
half.
true.
Like,
Yeah, for
there's
sure.
no. I'm just saying there were. I don't know. I thought the acting is absolutely freaking horrible.
Yeah, it's worse than porn.
The
acting,
writing,
it really
the
is.
dialogue
It's
is
about the same level. Porn acting.
the dialogue is awful. It's boring. I've already mentioned it feels too long. The slashers are the highlight. In my opinion, there's no rewatch value to this at all. But Jared's seen it several times. Frank owns it, so who knows? The best thing I can say about this movie is it's better than The Oregonian.
I thought you were gonna say it's over with.
It's better than The Oregonian. I gave this a 2.
Wow.
But before we move on, I want to get to the budget.
Oh, I got a lot of
Let's
things
go-
to
all
say.
right.
I had
say.
to Google something really
Okay.
quick. Friday the 13th, Part 1, the first one, before it was a franchise. That was what, 80s, 81? And was a bottom of the barrel, super low budget horror movie, right? Was what it was supposed to be. I mean, it wasn't something that they had a lot of money coming in. It would be considered a really low budget. It was $700,000 in 1981.
Okay.
For Friday the 13th.
Okay.
I'm saying
I mean,
all I'm saying.
I would do this. Google how much 700,000 is today, and then Google from 81 to today, and then Google how much 165,000
in
2001 is to today.
Really low budget horror movies.
Friday the 13th is going to have a really high budget compared to this movie.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Because
And
we
it
were
shows.
talking about. Yeah, I was saying this is a really low budget.
Let's not fight about money, guys.
Right, but I'm saying low budget, and I'll ask Justin Seaman when I interview him. I'll get his perspective because he does low budget horror. What is? Give me your budget. Give me your budget that you're working on. I guarantee you, it's not $200,000.
Yeah, I'm not saying they did a great job. I'm just saying $165,000 budget in 2000 wasn't shit. I mean, it's
for a low budget movie. That's a lot. That's all I'm saying.
Let's stop fighting about money, guys.
Because they're making movies for $10,000 low budget. So that's what I'm saying.
I think I understand. Jason's saying they could have done more with the money they had.
and I see.
I don't know where the money went because
They didn't use film. Film would be more expensive.
shot on video.
I think it's more confusing of how Friday the 13th got such a great product.
It was probably a paintball arena that wasn't even in business anymore.
The slashers for a movie that's a bigger.
It was
idea.
all those Asian cheerleaders that cost.
You can-
now I know where it is.
You can do really low budget movies if you're keeping a small story that doesn't require.
I promise you,
they shot for the stars with their idea.
Yeah,
and
one
got-
camera.
most
through the whole
of the
movie.
money. I promise both of you guys.
Probably
Most
Coke.
of the money.
It probably went Coke.
Most of the money
And
in
beer.
this-
I mean, it's Canadian.
I think most of the money in this movie went to the girl that showed her tits. I swear to God, that's where it went. I promise you.
My
promise you.
only point I meant to make is like when you say in 2000 it was $165,000
And she was-
budget, like that is pretty much saying this is going to be a terrible quality movie. Was my point.
For sure. But give us $165,000. I guarantee you, we do a lot more with it.
Oh yeah, we could make slashers. We could make slashers.
Better.
No problem.
Let's
problem.
remake the slashers.
Scene for scene, we're remaking it. I want to say before we get on an hour-long tangent about fucking budgets.
What I really
Can I talk about what I liked about the movie?
What I really want to happen is you guys to get a $165,000 in 2000 equivalent today budget.
We're gonna get graphs.
and you guys-
Next episode, all graphs.
I want to see that. I want to see that movie.
Still can do it. 'Cause we could make a better movie.
Now that Jason said some rather pointed things about this movie, I have another view about it.
And while I'm talking,
It costs $27,000.
I'm not arguing anything you said about it.
Honestly, I think we're agreeing.
Yeah.
We're agreeing with each other.
You're arguing.
thanking you.
I was saying, all I was doing is saying I concur.
Okay. Well, this is one
Got
of
me hot.
See, this is one of my favorite low budget shitty movies. I've loved it since I bought it on VHS at Family Video. I've probably watched it like literally a dozen times. It's one of those ones you can just put on and let it go, and it's the equivalent of going through one of those haunted house fun house things for me. It's that scary. It's that fun. It's exactly that. I like the characters. I have fun with it. I know the beginning of the movie is very grating. I even told Jason when I dropped it off, I'm like, the beginning of the movie is going to fucking kill you, man. Because it really is bad, like really bad. But there's charm here that I think that the slashers themselves are kind of like professional wrestlers. So if you don't like professional wrestling, you probably won't like this movie. But it's just it's that level of cheesiness. There's no good acting. It's like watching porno actors. Megan is a horribly annoying character.
And she ends up being the main character.
She is, and she's only not annoying for one scene.
I will give was a Dr. Ripper. Like
obsessed.
Isn't he the one that keeps cutting the shirts off? Like she wears like 3 different shirts in this movie.
Yes, he is obsessed with take your shirt off, Megan.
Give him props for that.
Yeah, I love how they really try to make this, like, part of the charm for me is how much they try to make the dialogue like important. Like they're trying to say something about whatever the fuck it is. But
Megan's reason.
Yeah.
Megan's reason for coming on the show was as soon as she started talking, I checked out.
And then I'm always
until she got her shirt cut off.
Yeah, I'm always a sucker for a bad psycho, and the guy that turns into a killer at the end or whatever, he's just bad. It's bad. But 8 out of 10 for me, man. You know, I like a bologna sandwich. I like a bologna sandwich movie, and this is fucking a bologna sandwich.
This ain't bologna, Frank. This
it is. Well, it's that weird loaf, and I like that too. Jared.
Yeah.
Did you watch this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh yeah, you've seen this more.
He didn't even need to watch it. He knows what happens.
Yeah, I give this one a 5 on what it is. Jason's right. I'm not going to argue. The movie's utter garbage.
I don't even argue that. Nope.
It's
8 out of 10.
The acting in it is it's one of the worst acted movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's worse than porno.
Yeah, this is
also
absolute,
has that kind of like a soap opera feel to it.
It's absolute trash cinema. They went for a reality TV show feel. And
didn't even capture that.
Yeah, that's I don't understand.
Yeah, and they couldn't.
Well, I do understand because it was a Canadian film that made to look like a Japanese.
And dude, hold on a minute. We can capture reality TV right here. Jared, did you drink my fucking Coke, dude?
Stop.
I was just saying.
It's a garbage movie. I have watched it multiple times. I won't lie. It's a fun Mystery Science Theater 3000 style movie.
I've never seen anything on there worse than this.
I have, other than the first time I watched it, I've never put this movie in alone because it's like I want to watch this. But I have hung out with people where we're getting drunk or whatever, like out at Scott's house, where you want to put in a garbage movie because you're not really into the movie, but you want something to make fun of. I've watched it a few times doing that, and it's good for that. Like if you got, like what we don't.
If you're drunk, pop it in.
We don't do it as much anymore, but back in the day when we were youngsters.
Oh yeah.
You know, sometimes you're just having fun, a whole group of friends, and you're dicking around, and so you throw in a garbage movie that everyone can make fun of. This works as that. There's a lot to laugh at because it's terrible, and the slasher characters are somewhat cool, so you know you got the horror movie. So I give it a 5 on the idea that it's a good one to throw in to make fun of. But my biggest problem with it is it feels like it's 2 hours 15 minutes long. There are parts that just get so slow and it feels like it's for the purpose of making a coherent story.
They try really hard,
and it fails so bad. Like you should just, it doesn't, other than the violent parts and probably the boobs, you should just cut about 45 minutes of this movie out any of it.
Just fast forward
It doesn't matter.
to the kills.
Yeah, just any of it. It could not. The story could
Those
not
aren't
make
even that
sense.
good. We've spent too much
So
time on this movie.
let's talk about budgets.